and welcome to Journey of an Author with Alfred Muller. This is not going to be a full video. I will talk a little bit about my experience with NaNoWriMo and give a little funny story about the last video. And then at the very end, I'm going to give away 3 copies of this book. I know originally I said I was going to give 1 copy for 25, 2 copies for 50, and then 3 copies if we hit 100, but I was so thrilled with how much that we actually did. I'm just going to go ahead and give away the 3 books. So I will pick 3 names from those who have shared it, and then I will send the books to you, hopefully before Christmas. Unfortunately, Amazon is a little behind, so my book will not be, the books won't be to me until almost till Christmas. I will do my very best to get it to you before Christmas anyway. So let's start off with NaNoWriMo. For those who are unaware, it is National Novel Writing Month. So in that month, you're supposed to write 50,000 words. And in general, a typical novel, a shorter one, is between 50,000 to 120,000. Now, you're probably looking at like romance novels, urban fantasy, some westerns, even some generic like mystery novels. So the idea is you can write the full novel in a month. It's a great way to learn your strengths and weaknesses as an author. If you can actually put up that amount of writing for an entire month span, and it really pushes you to stay consistent. It also challenges your plotting, your creativity on the fly. It challenges you to stay on a strict schedule, which for someone like me who's an independent author, it's I guess it really depends on how you want to look at it. It could be more rigorous, but for someone who's in traditional publishing, editors and publicists are going to be getting onto you wondering where those chapters are. They're going to want you to hit deadlines, and this National Novel Writing Month kind of like builds you towards that. So for myself, I did hit my goal. I hit 50,015 words, which was amazing. I couldn't believe that I actually did it, but not that I didn't think I could do it, but not that I didn't think I could do it, because the words were coming to me pretty readily in the beginning, but forcing myself to sit down and write to hit that 50,000 goal. It's one thing to say, well, if I stay on this pace, I'll hit that 50,000 goal mark. It's another thing to actually do it. And while I do view it as one of my strengths, juggling a deadline as well as family life and work life, to be able to say, no, you're going to spend and dedicate this time to writing, and you're going to hit that goal by actually accomplishing the goal. That was another challenge for me. But I overcame it, and I got the 50,000 words done. Most of it spent on book 2 of The Water Crystal. And then the last couple of thousand words I spent on a young adult series that I have planned. But more on that eventually. So that was my novel writing experience, my national novel writing experience. I got a lot of good work done. Forcing myself to continue writing, but then not go back and edit and just get the words down on paper was another thing. Because I build off my writing by going to a chapter, writing it, and then going back and editing it, rereading what I wrote and seeing, is that really where I meant to go with that scene? Can I alter it? And what I actually could make out of that scene, what could I build off of? So I find more use in editing than I do when I actually write the scene. That's just kind of get the idea out of my head. And then when I go back and edit is where I fine-tune and build the story from. So that was also challenging. Which brings me to my current situation, where I have gone back and started to edit the chapters that I wrote. Loving them. They're still rough, obviously, because I just wrote them. But the first read-through was promising. And the chapter I'm working on now, I'm pretty happy with the direction it's heading. So, briefly, the funny thing that happened with the last video is I tried to record it on my computer, and while I have workshop stuff that I could do on that, which is how I actually made this cover, which, for those who didn't know, I made the cover myself. I used Photoshop to make all this cool stuff. So with Photoshop, you can also edit videos, and I tried to do that. I wanted to do some cool scene swipes and all that cool stuff. Anyway, there was no audio, so it took like 4 days to upload on my computer, and I wasn't paying attention. I didn't re-listen to it or anything. And then I went to look at it, and I was like, wait a minute, there's no audio there. So for like 3 days, it was up on YouTube with no audio, and I shared it on Facebook, and there was no audio. So I took it down, and basically everything I've just talked about with NaNoWriMo is what I put into it. I also reminded everybody that my book was published because it had been so long since I published the video. I directed everybody to go check out the mock interview if you haven't already, because that was hilarious. I do hope to get my sister on a video probably next week or two, where we discuss perfect characters, and which also is the newest blog post I have on my website, which links in the description will have my website, where you can find my blog posts and upcoming events and book releases. You can also find me on Goodreads and an author page. All that kind of stuff will be in the description, as well as places to purchase the book. But without further ado, let's get to the drawing. As you can see, I have all the names in a hat. For unbiasedness, I did remove my family. So they counted towards the shares, which is how we got to 50. But I am not going to draw their names. They have all read the book at some point, and they have copies. So I'm not going to give them a giveaway. But everybody else's name is in the hat, and let's draw. As you can see, I have all the names in a hat. For unbiasedness, I did remove my family. So they counted towards the shares, which is how we got to 50. But I am not going to draw their names. They have all read the book at some point, and they have copies. So I'm not going to give them a giveaway. But everybody else's name is in the hat, and let's draw. All right, so the first name is an old boss of mine. He really mentored me in at the post office. But Kevin Rice, you've won a copy of the book, so I will send that to you. And you know how the post office is, so I don't have to explain that I can try and get to it by Christmas, but we all know how that works. Let's go with number 2. All right, Jeanie. She's been in the family forever. I've known her since I was a very young kid, and I am so happy that she won a copy. Excuse me. All right. Well, for those of you who don't know or haven't seen my author page, but that image right there, as well as the one you can find on my Facebook page and my author page, was done by Marsha Gould. She is amazing. She did all my photos for me. She was just wonderful about it, and she's also won a copy. So those are the 3 winners. I'll post it on Facebook. I'll put their names in the description, and I will message them to let them know that they've won a copy. So I hope this short video was enjoyable. Hope those who are tuning in because of writing have gotten some good advice on the novel writing side of things. And I'll just finish up with a few more tips. Remember, always write. Never tell yourself that, oh, you can skip this day. That may seem pushy, but you got to remember, if the book isn't done, you can't publish it. You can't finish it. So get those words down, even if it means grabbing a pen and paper with you and jotting it down while you're sitting at the doctor's office. Make sure you're writing. Read anything and everything under the sun. If you are a urban fantasy writer, read romance. If you're a romance writer, read epic fantasy or mystery, because those are elements that will expand your viewership as well as your skills, because you can add elements to the story that aren't done. And remember to always spend time decompressing. Writing is a vigorous mental challenge, and you don't want to drain yourself. So even though you're writing all the time, make sure you do take some time, whether it's a bath or a shower or a walk or cleaning the house. Do some stuff to decompress so you can jump back in and continue writing. Well, guys, it's this journey of an author with Alfred Muller. I look forward to the next one.